This Thursday marks 70 years since the signing of the Korean Armistice Agreement that ended Korean War hostilities. This week, we take a look back on the past 70 years, as well as what the future holds. Today, we're joined by Lieutenant General retired Chun In-bum. Good morning.
Good morning.
So we are already over the halfway through 2023. How would you evaluate the situation here on the Korean Peninsula in terms of inter-Korean relations?
Well, in order to answer that question, I think we need to first think of how we started 2023. North Korea was explicitly against negotiations as long as South Korea and the United States' goal was denuclearization. The previous government was patient, and the result seems to be that it only spoiled the North Koreans. The present government is naturally more focused on deterrence and readiness. And now the North Koreans are using our readiness and deterrence actions as provocations. So right now, we're in a vicious cycle of name-calling and provocations from both sides that are claimed that is raising tensions on the Korean Peninsula.
Right, and not much positive progress on the inter-Korean relations. Now, this year, like I mentioned earlier, marks 70 years since an armistice was signed in order to end the Korean War hostilities. Now, how likely is it that the North will take the anniversary on Thursday as an opportunity to carry out more military provocations? I mean, from what form might such provocations take? More military launches or a military parade that everybody is concerned about?
Except for their normal activities, such as parades and missile launches, I don't think the North Koreans will conduct any kind of direct action. I believe this because North Koreans are descendants of guerrilla fighters. And in unconventional warfare, when you are in the weak, you do not attack. So they're waiting until they have the ultimate capability, which is to strike the United States with nuclear weapons. And until then, they will not use their final card.
Sure, maybe not so direct, but the North could take the advantage of that anniversary. Now, North Korea actually last week warned of using nuclear weapons as a response to the inaugural meeting of the Nuclear Consultative Group and also the U.S. nuclear submarine docking in Busan, USS Kentucky. Now, how likely is it that the North will actually use nuclear weapons?
So the danger of nuclear weapons is that it exists. Well, nobody can really say whether North Korea will not use it or use it, but it's very disturbing that they take the deployment of a submarine to friendly shores and ports as an act of provocation that warrants a nuclear response. So it just goes to show how belligerent their nuclear policies can turn. And it's a showcase or an example of what is to come. Once they are confident of their nuclear capability, that they can strike the United States, they will do more than just talk. They will, or simple tests. They will start to conduct provocations or brinkmanship to get us to the table under their terms. And that is when it will be very dangerous for us.
Sure. We don't know yet when they will actually go ahead with all the nuclear use. But the fact that we all know that it exists and the final call is up in the air can be disturbing and concerning at the moment, at the same time.
Yes.
Then what's your prospect on inter-Korean relations for the latter half of the year? I mean, will there be more major developments or a turning point, you would say?
Well, for sure, they're going to try to shoot another so-called satellite to increase their capability for ICBM capabilities. And I'm sure there's a good possibility of another nuclear test. But I'm more concerned about the subversive activities that North Korea is conducting within South Korean society. So with all of these coupled and cyber crime as well, which is financing all of this, I think the latter half of this year, we'll see more tensions building and we need to be vigilant and make sure that nothing goes out of hand.
Right. It's not just launching missiles or warning of a nuclear weapons use. It's also those cyber attacks that have been very disturbing at the same time. Now, then that's why Seoul and Washington have been slapping sanctions on North Korean individuals or those firms that have been involved in securing those illegal funds for weapons development. And before we let you go, what do you think South Korea and the U.S. should take in terms of steps from refraining North Korea from developing more weapons programs?
Right now, I think the only course that we have is to strengthen the alliance and demonstrate the integrity of the alliance, and to make sure that our societies are prepared to for any kind of eventuality.
Sure, strengthening South Korea-U.S. alliance, and also that could be further extended to the cooperation, to trilateral cooperation between South Korea, the U.S., and Japan now.
Yes, trilateral cooperation is vital at this point, and I'm glad to see that this government is pursuing those courses.
All right, we appreciate your insight this morning. You have a good day.
Thank you.